So it's always a great thing to find yourself sitting on top of the world. The flip side of that is that from there, the only place to go is down. Now, I've always found it one of the more bittersweet aspects of my life that we can't really stay on these heights, on these high moments. We got to keep going, and we got to come down. But there we were, the evening of the summer solstice in 2013. There were 4 of us sitting atop Mount Monadnock. It was myself, my best friend, my sister, and my soon-to-be wife. And it's just perfect. It's like 78 degrees. There's like maybe a light breeze coming through, not a cloud in the sky. And we look over to the west, and we could see the brilliant, golden, setting summer sun hovering just above the horizon. And we look over to the east, and there we could see this gigantic, perfect full moon rising just above that horizon. So we've got like the 2 solar bodies sitting exactly opposite one another in the sky. It's the kind of show that the cosmos puts on for you maybe once or twice in your life. And we knew it. We wanted to savor that. We wanted to soak it in. So questionable though it may have been, we decided to linger a little bit. But, we figured, what could go wrong? No big deal. We had come up kind of a meandering, more difficult, scenic path on the way up, but we were going to go straight down the White Cross Trail, straight down the mountain. We had all done this dozens of times. I read a blog. I call myself the Wizard of Monadnock, for crying out loud. Like, we're professionals here, practically. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I'll tell you. So finally we did decide, all right, it's time. We've waited as long as we can. It's still light out. The sun's not completely gone, pretty close. But we start going down, and about 10 minutes in, for some reason, I get this idea in my head that we have somehow missed the trailhead for White Cross. We've gone too far. And not to totally diffuse responsibility for this entire episode, but my military wilderness-trained buddy totally agreed with me. And so from there, we decide, instead of backtracking and kind of retracing our steps and finding where presumably the trailhead was behind us, if we just kind of cut across these rocks over here and down a little bit, it's right over there. It's just, if we just cut across here, we'll get there, no problem, right? Well, that's how we ended up on the ledge, about this wide. And right in front of us, we're looking at the pointy tips of like 75 to 100 foot tall white pine trees growing from the forest floor straight down below. Behind us, towering over our heads, we've got this kind of sheer rock wall that we've somehow slid down to get here. So like a few minutes ago, we're having this profound life experience, and now a few minutes later, we're kind of confronted with mortality here. It's kind of a tense moment. We're losing light. There's nobody around. We have no idea exactly what we're going to do here. My sister gets up on a larger rock, to try to kind of maybe grab a handhold, on the rock face there, and the rock starts teetering like this, So this is a kind of dangerous, scary moment. My wife, starts talking about how nervous and kind of frightened she is, and I'm like, honey, and she's like, well, what? I'm just telling you how I feel. And I said, now is not the time to express our fears. But we were in trouble, and we were all scared, we had to do something. We had to keep going. We had to get off this ledge and get off this mountain. We had to. So finally we make the decision, we're going to somehow try to find a way up and over, and just do this one at a time. There was no alternative, really. So we give each other a boost. First my sister goes up, and then my best friend goes, and then I give my wife a boost, and I'm thinking foolishly in my vanity that like, if something goes wrong, I'll be down at the bottom to save the day, and fortunately that did not get put to the test. So I go last, and there's nobody to give me a boost up, and I'm not a particularly tall fellow, as you can see, so I really kind of have no idea how I'm going to do this. But they're up there now, and I'm down here, and I just said to them, you have to, there's no choice here. You have to get up and over this thing. So to this day, I'm not really sure exactly how I managed to gingerly, gently, slowly haul myself up and over, but I did. At this point in time, not quite pitch darkness yet, but we can see down below the lights of Peterborough are kind of sparkling on. That big moon is now much higher in the sky, and so we're out of time. We got to go. We make our way back the way that we came. We come up against the White Dot Trail, which seemed dissatisfying a little while ago, and now is just fine. we continue on ahead, and we realized very quickly, within like 5 minutes or so, that we had never missed the trailhead for White Cross. It was there right in front of us. So we started going down, and it's fine. And we managed to get down before pitch darkness. The steeper, more treacherous, rocky areas. But then it's dark, and we've got no headlamps. We've got no flashlights beyond what's on our phones. But we had to keep going. We had to get off this mountain. And we would hear sounds, kind of menacing sounds in the darkness off to the left of the path and to the right of the path. And all we could really do was kind of make menacing sounds of our own back, We were like inventing weird songs to sing that would hopefully ward off these, spirits or beasts that were kind of stalking us in the night. But we had to, we had to get down, we had to get out of there. And we did. We made it down, we made it out, we get down there, it's like 11 o'clock. Our car's the last car in the parking lot. We get in the car, breathe a sigh of relief, we drive off back to civilization, and our lives go on. And so it's interesting to me, kind of how much of the human experience could be compressed into just these few hours on the mountain. But it gets a little bit better than that, actually, because about a month later, we found out that my wife had been pregnant, and that our youngest son had been a stowaway on this journey the entire time. So now, the effects and implications of this on him as an individual very much remain yet to be seen. He's only 4. We'll find out. But I do think it's a really interesting thing how, almost like with or without us, whether we like it or not, things sort of have a way of just continuing on. Thank you.